on to the workshop. My name is Genovese, and I'm presenting a project called Public Scribing, which is a public art interactive piece that's touring the country. And what it's doing is it's collecting the thoughts and perspectives of Americans between the time 2008 and 2012. The project has toured in different cities such as Chicago, San Francisco, San Antonio, Miami, and Brooklyn. And now it's starting to move into the middle of the country. We're trying to get the thoughts and perspectives of students here at DeKalb to sort of pair up with these other, this other data that I've collected over the past couple of years. So that's what you're seeing in front of you. You're seeing a large example of an interactive plate. It's an aluminum composite material with styluses that are on the face of it. They're there for you to be free, to draw, to write, to sort of deposit your thoughts and perspectives, what's going on in your mind. I'm really interested, and I think the general public is really interested to see what's going on in the minds of students enrolled in the Midwest. It's a very specific type of personality or characteristics that happen in the Midwest, at least I think, right? So this is what we're trying to figure out. The project that is, ongoing until 2012 has three different layers to it. One is this, where we're out in public, we're doing a collaborative drawing together, we're depositing ourselves. We're letting go of your own sort of structure, your own, in art school we're kind of stuck on our own composition, our own color, our own style. For a moment, you're able to do what you want. And I like offering this to you to give you the opportunity to communicate to the public. Since this is a touring project, the pieces immediately get exhibited. So like the piece that's over there and far into the gallery is a piece that was just finished in Miami, maybe 3 weeks ago. So immediately it's put in front of you. You get to see what's going on in Miami. These pieces are planned to go into exhibition in Chicago. So saying that, I want you to think about what you're depositing, what you're putting onto these plates. What are you trying to communicate? If you want to have a conversation with things that are happening that are already on the plate, or or you want to consider a viewer, the general public, somebody random, what would you have to say to them? What would you like to communicate? It could be in text, it could be in sort of, iconographic, it could be whatever you want to do, whatever you want to do. You're more than welcome to participate. But let me get back to it being a three sort of layer project. So this is the first part of it where the public interacts onto these big shiny plates. The second part of it is they get put back into the studio and then transcribed by an invited guest. So they'll go through and put it in layman's terms, describing the drawings, sort of setting up narratives, and using sort of a creative writing process to put it into an unedited sort of look into this sort of scenario. Follow. That second part is given to me, and then it's translated into the local languages of that area. Like this plate here is an example of how the end product looks, where all of the information is given to me and then translated into English, Spanish, and Polish, because the plates are from Chicago, which are two examples here on the left and right. So, just to give you a little bit of a glimpse inside of my head, outside of it being a public project, basically, the reason why I do this is a way for me to extend myself out into the general public, to be able to forge relationships and have this cognitive experience with people. When you're an artist working full-time, you're typically in the studio, working by yourself. If you're not working by yourself, you're an assistant or a gallery. You're in this kind of like small world, which is basically the art world. So it gives me an opportunity to understand what's going on in the world around me without looking into a newspaper or watching TV or seeing a magazine. It's this unedited sort of view on people. I have a strong background in text, so a lot of this text that's on here, the mark making that's happening, look to me as portraits. I can read into this text and sort of understand it the same way that you can understand a photograph. They're like fingerprints, small portraits of society in our time. So that's kind of like where I'm coming from when I go out and do these. When I bring them back to the studio and I observe these and have them transcribed and sort of look into it, it's a window to the world for me, without this sort of edited scenario. And not to mention that I love the handmade. I'm also playing with history. You know, I'm thinking about this work as something that's documented and found in 2392, and somebody discovering it or taking it out of the crate and being like, wow, people actually made things with their hands. Not only they make things with their hands, but look what they're saying. Here's a sort of glimpse into the personalities of people. So, and that brings it back to why I use the vehicle of fine art to sort of make this. Because fine art gives you that opportunity to archive your work. You know, if you take the right sort of channels, you can put this work into history so that it will survive, 300 to 400 years and beyond if, the world doesn't blow up with it. So, that's my objective, to sort of gather what's going on for 4 years, archive or present it, catalog it, and archive it, for the future. In 2 ways. So you have this way, you have the documentation like I was talking about, the transcriptions, and then you also have the historically referenced stones, right, which are pulling from 2,000 years ago, saying like, oh look, the human has done research, there's the Rosetta Stone silhouette, but modernizing it with what's happening today, and then archiving it so somebody can find it in the far future. So that's basically an overview of what you're participating in. And like I said, feel free to do what you want. The only thing I hope that you don't do is mark on the plates that are from different cities. So just pay attention to that piece and corners from Miami, these two are from Chicago, from different places. The ones that are available to work on are here in the center, this large one. And there's also ones around campus and local bars and stuff that you can also find throughout the week that I'm here. So that's an overview. Does anybody have any questions or comments? I hate the silence. Every time. In an art school, there has to be some question. No? Okay. So, do what you will. Help yourself. If you do have any questions or any comments, just let me know. I'm around, trying to facilitate styluses and give you input as you go along. Okay? Come on.